Hey guys, I was just doing some playing around. My freeze dryer's been down for a little bit, having a vacuum error, so I can't run regular runs. I have a new computer board on the way. They think that's part of the problem. Um, as you can see, I still have the side open. I have put silicone on all the different uh, areas that can possibly result in a a vacuum error from a leak. Still having vacuum error. We've checked the pump, and we think it's the computer board. Anyway, I was supposed to be doing some freeze dried oranges and apples and cakes and cookies and ice creams for people, but I can't run a full run. So I thought, well, I'm, kind of stuck waiting for part to arrive. Well, when people do candy, it's basically heat and vacuum. So I decided to try and use the test function to see if turn the heat on and the vacuum on, if I can still get, our puffy freeze-dried Skittles. And I thought I'd give a few other things a try. So I've had this going. Turn the heater on, so it's at 150. That's the limit. And the vacuum's been going for 28 minutes. And it's still at just under 1500 millitorrs. So yeah, I'm having vacuum issues. We've tested the vacuum. I was told the vacuum is not the issue, but it's how the computer is reading the vacuum is the issue. So I know Skittles work. And then we know those apple caramel suckers, the apple suckers dipped in caramel, that they work. But I was wondering if they work in the packages. And it seems to be working. And then I thought I'd try some Turkish Delight. Hopefully see just the heat's on and the vacuum. So this has been going for just under half an hour. The Skittles look good. Those suckers look like they've puffed up nice. I don't really see anything happening with the Turkish Delight. So now that they're, nice and puffed, I'm going to turn the heat off. And to help cool it down a little bit quicker, I'm going to turn the freeze function on. Because we want to get those sugars to harden up while still in a vacuum. So hopefully, I'm going to give this a few minutes. Okay, so it's been another 7 minutes. I'm down to minus 12 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm just going to stop both the freeze and stop the vacuum. Slowly open the vacuum valve, the drain valve. Oh, I don't know if you saw that. The caramel apples were starting to shrink. We'll see how they do. Okay. So, obviously this isn't the Harvest Right tray. My Harvest Right trays are full with food in my freezer waiting for my the parts to finish fixing it. So as we see, loaded tray, small tray, loaded to the hilt. Lots of puffed up yummy Skittles. So, Skittles, super easy. They work great. Now the caramel apple suckers, they puffed up a bit. I might put them back in because they're still really warm, and I can feel them shrinking back. as they're cooling. So I'm going to put these back in. Probably with a couple more trays of the caramel apples. But like nothing happened to the Turkish Delight. They might need to go in for a full round because they're a jelly, almost like Jell-O. So I wasn't sure whether they'd work kind of like how some gummies work. So once it's going, my freeze dryer, I get the parts to get it going to do full runs. I'll give them a try again with a full run. But they don't work as a piggyback. And then, yeah, I had another tray of Skittles. So I'm packaging these up for a friend for Christmas. And, yeah. So I will refill trays with more caramel apples. And maybe I'll come back and show what, after I do the caramel apples again, what they look like. So hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've actually let it go on. I've refilled all my trays with suckers, those apple caramel suckers. Let it heat and vacuum for half an hour, and then turned it to freeze and vacuum. It's been going for about an hour, so let's turn this off. Turn off the freeze, turn off the vacuum, and you can see, hopefully, that these are very nice and puffed up. Let's kind of watch them as I open the back drain valve slowly. I see a little bit of deflating. So we've got some caramel that has come out. So some of them, like that was all puffed up, even right there when before I opened the vacuum, but it went down a little bit. So I did keep one sucker out. So this was before, not too thick, to after. Let's just open them up. So before, your caramel sucker. And let's open this one up. So this one has your caramel, your original, just, caramel sticky on it. And this one's puffed up. So it's that crunchy, but as soon as it hits the moisture of your mouth, back to sticky, gooey caramel that is sticking my teeth together. So my main reason for doing this was because I've seen them done out of the package. But caramel gets really fragile, so I wanted to see if I could do it in the package. So it's easier to gift, to sell, to even just store. So hope this helped. We've got our Skittles, puffed up Skittles, and our caramel apples, suckers, ready to package. Hey, so I thought I was done with the sour apple caramel suckers and our freeze-dried Skittles, putting them through, but I have some more time, so I have a bag of Charleston Chews pieces and a bag of caramel M&Ms. So again, I'm using some small trays. These are just toaster trays I got at the dollar store. Betty Crocker toaster oven trays. I generally use them as molds for freezing into these. 2 of these trays fit into one of the Harvest Right trays. However, all of my Harvest Right trays are, as I mentioned before, in my freezer loaded with stuff that needs a full run. So I'm going to try now the Charleston Chews and the caramel M&M. I'm going to try them using the function test, like I did with the Skittles and the suckers. So I've got them in there, close the door, close the drain valve, turn on the heat, and turn on the vacuum. There is a lag, there is a delay between when you touch it and when it actually clicks in. There goes the vacuum. So I'll come back in about half an hour and turn off the heat, and then I'll let it come back to kind of room temperature so everything kind of sets up while still under vacuum and doesn't shrink when air pressure comes in again. So let's see when these are done. Okay, so it's been about 8 minutes. So up top 2 trays, we've got Charleston Chews, and then we've got caramel M&Ms. So I am going to turn the heat off and turn the freezer back on. You can see the chocolate is bubbling on some of those Charleston Chews. So maybe I'm hoping that with turning the heat off and turning it back on cold, that we can preserve more of the chocolate on those Charleston Chews and the M&Ms. See how they do. Okay, so I'm back. It's been about 27 minutes. Gonna turn the vacuum off and turn the freeze off. And now I'm just gonna release the pressure in the drain. So it looks like, this here, looks like we've kept a lot of the chocolate in place with the Charleston Chews. And here are the caramel M&Ms. I think maybe next time I try these, I won't put as much heat. See if I can still get enough heat to soften everything so the vacuum can pull it, but not so much heat that it's going to melt all the chocolate. So, not too bad there. But maybe next time we can get the chocolate better. If I do it again, I'll let you know.